Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out of the Shakur Plateau. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Ruin spawning in as the red Terran, and up here in the top right-hand corner, we have Goswser spawning in as the blue Zerg. This is probably one of my favorite matchups on one of my favorite maps. I really love TBZ on this map, just because, and especially in cross map positions, it's just going to turn into such a large macro game, and macro games are really the most fun games to play, for me at least. I mean, I'm not really big into the high octane cheese fest, but you know, to each their own. We do have both players going for something fairly standard. Goswser is going to be going for a 15 hatchery, which is really normal on this map, especially if you scout cross map and you figure out that your opponent is, you know, in the farthest position he can be from you. But we do have a double Rax coming out of Ruin, which is actually going to be able to do a bit of damage. I don't think these Marines are going to be able to get to the hatchery before it finishes, so I doubt the hatchery is going to go down. But they might be. They're going to be able to kill off a couple drones, I would definitely say, at least, as the scouting drone does go down. And he did see the Marine. These Marines do know where to go, and the bunker rush is not going to be effective, as the hatchery is going to be up for quite a while before anything would be able to hit his base. But you know, this is a pretty interesting position for a Zerg player, as he doesn't have a whole lot of defense, and it does look like Ruin just transferred right out of the 2 racks into the command center, which I think is a good it's a good move if you scout that your opponent is across the map from you, because 2 racks pressure isn't really that good of a play if your units have to travel so long to do anything to your opponent. As soon as the spine crawler goes up, actually I think these Marines are going to beat this spine crawler. They're going to be up there before this spine crawler is done, which isn't going to be good for a Zerg player, but he is going to be able to use a couple drones and fight this off. How many drones has he lost so far? So we do have 4 drones killed by Ruin, which is pretty bad, but he lost 2 of his SCVs that he pulled to bring up here to maybe build a bunker. But you know, I don't think he really should have pulled those SCVs, because there's nowhere to build a bunker, and the creep was already spread so far out from the hatchery that it wouldn't have really been worth it, even if he had time to build up a bunker, because the hatchery wouldn't have been vulnerable. I mean, he could have probably set up like a soft contain, but even like spine crawlers can just hit anything that's below this ramp and kill the soft contain pretty easily. We do have Goswser going for all four gases at the same time, so I think he was actually going for like a Spinishua style build, so that was a pretty handled 2 racks considering the builds he was going for. We do have Ruin significantly behind in Harvesters. It's 35 to 47, which isn't where you want to be. Actually, I guess it is exactly where Terran should be. It's just not where they want to be, because this is a lot of over droning right now. I think actually that if Ruin really wanted to, and if he had stim or something like that, but he's actually just going for siege tanks. So even now, I bet he could set up a contain. And we do have Goswser going for a secret hatchery at Ruin's 4th. I'm not sure how effective this is going to be, because it's completely undefendable for the Zerg player since they removed these rocks back here. I mean, before they did that, you might have been able to get some units across the secret chasm, just like try to defend this 3rd, but now it's just going to die. I would have liked to see him go for like a secret base at his at the north position 3rd. Rather than up there. We do have an SCV getting killed. I think he was trying to scout, but a Zergling found it first. And we do have double upgrades coming out of Zerg, just single upgrades coming out of our Terran player, which kind of surprises me. I mean, usually when you see Terran go for something like this, which is just Marine tank play, they try to go for like double upgrades, just because it's so effective. And we do have the Zerglings getting cleaned up quite easily, actually, and it's siege tank getting dropped off on this cliff. This is amazing position. This is a spectacular position. I'm surprised he's not moving it up so I can completely seal off this chasm and this one. But even still, like, this is scary. And we do have infestors, but I mean, I'm not sure how effective these infestors are going to be, because these tanks are at full health. We do have everything running in, and the infestors just moving right into the tanks. That's just not what you want your infestors to do. That is not the proper move for your infestors. We do have a second wave of lings that I think is going to be able to, yeah, it's going to be able to clean this up pretty easily. But this siege tank on the high ground is just in such a good position to be dealing with any sort of, with any zerglings. It will absolutely wreck anything. And we do have more mass lings, but he really needs a beefier unit to contend with this marine tank army. I'm surprised he's not going for a hive right now, because if he could really get out, if he could get like broodlords or ultralisks out, he would easily be able to crush through this tank line. Probably broodlords because of this siege tank that's on the high ground, because that thing is just absolutely wrecking him. And we do have some zerglings massing up at the third for a possible run by, which would do a scary amount of damage, because there's really nothing in Ruin's base. He is training marines properly and having them all like group up and go out, move out as a pack, but even then I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, these zerglings, we're going to go for a backstab, so it was definitely the right choice to move to try to move into the base. And I'm surprised he's not going for the production, because he could easily kill off a couple racks here, and a couple racks is pretty good for a Zerg to get. We do have Marines starting to pop back up to try to take these guys out, but Zerglings are pretty good against Marines if they have the edge on upgrades, which they do actually. We do have Adrenal Glands coming up, and Adrenal Glands is pretty good, and Root is getting pretty severely supply blocked actually. I'm surprised that Goswser didn't try to kill off this supply depot, but it might actually just burn down. But I think that Ruin now knows that there is a third up here, because there's absolutely no way that Zerglings could have bypassed his tank line. So if he ever finds that third, he is Goswser is gone. And man, these siege tanks on the high ground are just absolutely destroying Goswser's army. He just keeps overcommitting with those Zerglings, which is really not what he needs to do. He needs to be like just trying to take small incremental advantages, which he's doing pretty well with these Zerglings, as we do see 42 workers killed by him. And if he can really just hold off these pushes for long enough, he might be able to pull this game out. Just because he has such he's just at such a worker advantage, plus the fact that Ruin is about to mine out. He's completely mined out at his main, essentially. He would be completely mined out if all his SCVs didn't get killed. He's almost completely mined out at his natural, so he's about to be down to no mining bases, one mining base if he lives off this command center and lands it here. But we do have the hatchery going down for Goswser, and he just GG's out. Not really the best play right there by Goswser. I would have liked to see him just stay in the game a bit longer. I guess he did lose a lot of tech to this marine drop up here, but I don't know, that didn't seem like the right time to GG. He wasn't quite at enough of a deficit. He had 5 Ultralisks coming up? What? And he didn't just wait for his 5 Ultralisks to finish? 5 is a pretty big number of Ultralisks, everybody. But anyway, this has been Boisterous bringing you this game. You can check out more of my games over at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. And if you guys want your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Both of those links will be in the video description, along with the link to a forum thread on battle.net. If you guys want to just bump that up to the front page for me, that would be awesome. So anyway, guys, see you next time.